welcome back. Second episode of the Philosoph. And this one is going to be a bit interesting. It's going to depend a lot on what you've seen throughout your life, how that influences your take on it. And the idea is, do we ever really deserve anything? And I mean by that, like, basically, do we have a right to say that any object or thing, action, happening, whatever, is something that, because of the circumstances that surround us, including what we've done for them, should therefore be ours? And that's like specifically saying that there is some sort of right or need or kind of greater right for someone else to possess it than another person, based on the multitude of factors you could say make up deserving something. And to me, me personally, I don't think anyone ever deserves anything, no matter how hard you've worked for it, no matter how strongly it's tied to you, no matter any sort of instance of time, space, resources, connections, whatsoever. I don't think there's any element of anything that justifies flat out deserving something, having it be so innately and entirely tied to you that there's no other reason or no other circumstance where someone else would get it. I just don't see that as possible. To me, it's just someone has a very, very strong tie to it, or maybe a very strong claim to it, but that by no right justifies deserving something. Because that to me is almost asserting so strongly your confidence in something that I think it takes back over to overconfidence. You know, like saying I deserve something is so incredibly dismissive of all the other possibilities regarding whatever it is, that to me it's just a step too far in that direction. And while I do think it's entirely fair to call someone out for maybe deserving something less, if we're to use it in that sense of their claim or tie to it is a bit lesser than yours, and you could say based on work, based on talent, based on whatever, however you want to quantify deserving, but it's definitely fair to say that people might have a less perceivable reason for acquiring something than you. However, just because you didn't get it and they did, I don't think that means you deserved it, or deserved it even more than they did. It's a bit interesting. My take on this is weird, where I can see people deserving things less than others, and to me that comes down to a insufficient amount of whatever quality is put into deserving something. So less effort, less talent, less time, less resources spent in general to achieve something. But I can't ever really say someone deserves something more, in my opinion. And I know that conflicts very heavily with what I just said, but I think it comes back to the idea of overconfidence, right? To me, I really don't like someone asserting with that complete blanket statement of deserve, because that just asserts it asserts a way of thinking about stuff that to me signals a lack of understanding and a lack of kind of full perception about the world. Whereas deserving something less, I think it's fair to say you can analyze if someone has phoned in something, put in less to it than someone else, and to me that's a more sympathetic position. I will usually sympathize, and I'm much less asserting. And while in a logical sense that conflicts, in an outlook, I think it actually is able to persist fine. But the concept of deserving is very interesting, and however many ways you want to spin it, I think we all have a view on it that is really quite different from a lot of other people. It's a very individualistic thing, no matter really how you try and spin it, maybe in a weird way like I do. So, do you think deserving things is a fair idea? Do you think that's something where people claim something, have a tie to something, and that goes above others? And do you think that because someone has put in more time, more effort, more whatever, is that fair to say then that they deserve something? Because that's a valid perspective to have. So hopefully I didn't bias it too much in favor of one way or the other. You get the idea. Does deserving something really count as an idea? Is it supported, Why not? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.